How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to Rangers Rundown. No board tonight. I got home only about 15 minutes ago, so I was only able to catch the last 7-8 minutes of the game tonight. An unfortunate loss in Game 5 against the Carolina Hurricanes. This is just the weirdest series, and it's been the weirdest playoffs for the Hurricanes, who are still undefeated at home and defeated on the road, which I guess bodes well for Game 6, which the Rangers will play in 2 days at MSG, a game that, if history stays consistent, at least recent history, the Rangers should be able to win and force a Game 7, which will then go back to Carolina, which the Hurricanes will win. If I was a betting man, I don't know, that just seems how this series is going to go. I was really hoping the Rangers would pull through tonight. They did end up losing 3-1 against the Hurricanes. I'm sure most of you already know that. You watched the game. You just watched the video for a little extra info, assuming I could give any. But 17 shots through 3 periods. 5 shots in the first, 5 shots in the second, 7 shots in the third. That is just not going to cut it. 1 goal on 17 shots. Kreider has no points, and I think 1 shot on goal through 3 games at Carolina this series. The Rangers should probably win Saturday at home at MSG, which means they force a Game 7, and they have to find a way to break through in Carolina. I know the first 2 games of this series were really close. If the Rangers had a little bit more puck luck in Games 1 and 2, maybe this series is a sweep for the Rangers. But the luck wasn't on their side. The luck is definitely on the side of the Hurricanes when they're at home. Not to take anything away from their skill, because Carolina is a defensive juggernaut. They are going to make you pay for every single pass, every single time you try and take it through the neutral zone. Their stick is going to be in the right spot, and they're going to take the body, and they're going to make you work just to get a little bit of offensive pressure. And I didn't watch the first 2.5 periods of this game, but based on the shots and the score, I can assume that was the Rangers' frustration throughout pretty much the entire game. I mean, what more is there to say? This series is just so weird. They threw up stats at the end of the game. They said, when Carolina goes up 3-2 in a series, historically, they are 9-0. They have never lost a series once they're up 3-2. And the Rangers, when they're behind in a 3-2 situation, their record is 6-19. So to be fair, the Rangers have fought back from being down 3-2 6 times. They haven't 19 times. I'm going to continue to be a pessimist because it served me well in round 1. When the Rangers went down 3-1 against the Penguins, I was a huge pessimist, and they ended up making history, coming back 3 times in a row from elimination after losing the game. They come back and they figure a way to get it done. I was a pessimist after Game 2. I was very defeated. I said the Rangers are going to lose this series in 4 or 5 games. We're on to Game 6 on Saturday. So being a pessimist has served me well, so I will continue to be a pessimist. Here is my prediction. I think the Rangers win Game 6 at home. They take it to 7 games, and they go to Carolina, and I think they lose this series in 7 games to the Hurricanes. You would be a fool to say that is not a strong possibility. You can be an optimist and say that the Rangers will win in 7. I will be a let's look at the facts-ist. Call me a pessimist if you want. I do want the Rangers to win. Obviously, this is a Rangers channel, a Rangers shirt. I'm a huge Rangers fan, clearly. I want them to win. After tonight, they've had 3 chances to win games in Carolina, and they've lost all 3. Will 4th time be a charm in Game 7? I'm talking as if Game 6 is a clear lock for a win. It is not by any means. but they won the 2 games at home. There's no reason they can't win a third. The only goal that I saw was the Svechnikov break where he put it 5-hole on Shesterkin. Apparently, Shesterkin has given up the most 5-hole goals in the playoffs this year, which is crazy because usually that's Georgiev's job. So I guess Shesterkin has a little bit of work to do closing the 5-hole on breakaways. He is far from the only Ranger that needs to step up. Kreider, I think at home, he's great, but in Game 7, should they get there, he's one of the players that needs to step up. The Rangers are not going to win Game 7 unless the first 2 lines score. That's just not going to happen. The kid line can do as much as they want, but those first 2 lines have to generate. They have to sit down with their defensive coaches, and Gallant has to figure out a way to break through this Carolina defense. They're just too good. Sticks are always in the right spots. Like I said, they're going to make you work for the few chances that you are going to get. You need to make sure those chances get in the net. Raanta is in goal. It's not like Freddie Anderson is in goal. Raanta is in goal, and he can be beaten. He is a backup goalie in this league. You need to get pucks to the net, and I know that's way easier said than done. 17 shots tonight in a game, again, is not going to work. The Rangers need more than single-digit shots in these periods, and that all starts with getting your forecheck going, getting a system going where you can break through Carolina standing you up in the neutral zone and at the blue line and getting into the zone and getting pucks on the net. I didn't watch the game tonight, but I guarantee you there were probably a couple times where Panarin overpassed instead of shooting. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he didn't even get the opportunity, but I'll bet you it happened once. Shoot the puck. Shoot at his pads. If it's not a great chance for a goal, get the rebound and put it in. And I know I'm making this sound so simple. I'm making it sound so much easier than it actually is. But it's just what they have to do. And they know they have to do it. They're not stupid. They're professional athletes. They know what they have to do. They're just having a really hard time doing it. And I get it. It's just disappointing. I considered waiting until tomorrow, rewatching the game, taking my notes, setting up the board. If they had won this game, somehow, if they had come back and won this game, I would have done that. But I really don't feel like watching this game again. So this is the video you guys are stuck with. I apologize if you like the board. I also like the board. I want to expand on these videos that I do next season, see if I can incorporate a little bit more material, maybe change up the backdrop, maybe get some better lighting. So big plans for next season. So bear with me for this one video. I'll be around Saturday for Game 6. I'll be around Monday for Game 7, should it go to 7 games. So we shouldn't have a problem there. I really just want to see the Rangers push through to Game 7 and win. This has already been a tremendous playoffs for them. It's been a great season, a great run in the playoffs. Nobody is going to look at this playoff run and be negative unless they're stupid. This has been a fantastic year, a fantastic playoffs for the Rangers, and if you don't think it has been, your expectations are way too high. This team is, I think, at this point, overachieving. Depending on the moves they make in the offseason, the players they decide to keep, the roster they build for next season, I think for the next 2 years, their chances at a cup only get better. We'll see what happens after 2 seasons. This was supposed to be the start of the playoff window opening, and it has done that. Next year, I think the cup window is open. Nobody expects the Rangers to make the Stanley Cup final this season, especially if they make it to the conference finals and end up playing Tampa Bay, because I don't see them beating Tampa Bay in a 7-game series. I think if there's any team in the playoffs that can beat Shesterkin 4 times, it's Tampa Bay. So even if they make the conference finals, they won't make the Stanley Cup finals, but that's not what they were supposed to do this season anyway. Starting next season, the cup window is open, and I think next season the goal will be conference finals. This team, as it's currently constructed, made the second round. hopefully next season, this team is a little bit better constructed. We'll see what happens with Sammy Blais. We'll see what happens with the 4 players the Rangers got at the trade deadline. I don't see them keeping Copp unless he is Strome's replacement. I don't see them keeping Vetrano. I do like Vetrano. He is, in the entire league, one of the best deadline acquisition players right now. But he also plays a style of hockey that is not unique or rare. He's a shooter, and he's a good shooter. He's not a great shooter, but he's a good shooter, and those you can find if you can't keep Vetrano. I think they should try and keep Motte for sure. He is one of the best fourth-line players in the league, especially on the Rangers. When he came over from Vancouver, Vancouver fans were like, you're going to love Motte, treat him well, and we love Motte. So if they can get him for the right price, because the cap crunch is going to be real next year, if they can find a way to keep Motte, I think that only makes them better. And then Braun, I think half a step up from Nemeth. So they'll definitely move on from Nemeth this offseason. Maybe they keep Braun. Maybe they find another veteran bottom pair defenseman. Hopefully next season it's Schneider-Jones or it's Schneider, any one of the other defensive prospects that the Rangers have. It'll be interesting to see who makes it at a training camp in September. And I think Schneider has earned himself a spot on this roster for next season. Who he ends up playing with is the question. But yeah, whatever happens this series against Carolina, it's all gravy at this point. It stings when they lose. It sucks so much. If they lose in 7, you can't really be too upset. I'm glad they didn't lose to the Penguins. I'd rather lose to Carolina than the Penguins. If they somehow make it to the conference finals, that would be amazing. But at this point, the Rangers have to win 2 games in order to play 4 more against Tampa. Will they do it? Man, I don't want to say it out loud, but they can. Everything has to go right, and a few things have to go wrong with Carolina. Man, I hope they do it. I don't think they will, but I hope they do. And we will just leave it at that. If I missed anything important in tonight's game, please be sure to let me know in the comments. If I should go back and watch the first 2.5 periods of this game, if there was anything interesting that did happen. I know Zibanejad scored the only goal on the power play. I'm pretty sure it was Zibanejad. So I'll definitely watch the highlights that they put up, that Sportsnet or NHL puts up. I'll definitely watch the highlights, but if I should rewatch this game, please let me know. Anything I missed, let me know. And I look forward to getting my board back in shape on Saturday when they go back to MSG, hopefully to push this to 7 games. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more videos like it, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next rundown.